The second match day in the Europa League is finally here, and the first match day wasn't even a week ago. I swear I just recorded those predictions like a few days ago. But with that being said, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for every single match in the second match day in the Europa League phase. I'll admit it, in the first match day, my predictions weren't the best. I got a lot of wrong predictions. Coming up against Feyenoord, I don't think Braga stand a chance. FCSB just plainly haven't been good, whereas Young Boys have been winning majority of their recent matches. But hey, I don't watch all of these teams in the Europa League, and it is the first match day, so I have to see how teams are performing, how teams look, and now for the rest of the Europa League, I can make more educated predictions. But without further ado, let's get right into these predictions. Starting off with the first match, we have Bologna against Fryberg. Fryberg ended up getting a good win in the first match day, when Bologna, on the other hand, ended up losing against Aston Villa, but they definitely could have won that game. They were hitting the post, hitting the crossbar, they were missing open nets. So as a team, they played pretty good, but their attacking players did not score the goals. And that's the thing with Bologna this season. When they play at home, they've been performing much better, but away from home, they haven't been very good. With that being said, in this game, they do have the home advantage, and if they can score the goals that they were missing last game, then they can definitely score multiple goals against Freiburg. So I'm going to predict Bologna to win this game 3-1. The next game we got is Bran against FC Utrect. Now, both of these teams did lose to French opposition, as Bran lost 2-1 against Lille and FC Utrect lost 1-0 against Lyon. So both of these teams coming off a loss is going to be a very close game. But I'm actually going to back Bran in this game. They have the home advantage. They were able to score against Lille, which FC Utrect failed to do against Lyon. So for that reason, I'm going to predict Bran to win this game 1-0. The next game we got is Celtic against Braga. I severely underestimated Braga in the first match day, where I said there is no way that they were going to win, and they ended up beating Feyenoord 1-0. But now Celtic have the home advantage, and I don't mean to underestimate Braga once again, but I am going to go with a 2-1 victory for Celtic. The next game we got is FCSB against Young Boys. I did not think that FCSB could beat Go Ahead Eagles in the first match day, because Go Ahead Eagles have the home advantage, and FCSB this season have not been good at all. They have been horrible in the Romanian league, and with some of the injuries that they also had in the first match day, I definitely did not expect them to get the win. But I was not impressed by Young Boys, as they got completely destroyed. They got smoked by Panathinaikos 4-1, and Young Boys had the home advantage. So now going to Romania, I don't think they're going to be able to win. I think it's going to be a relatively high scoring game, but I am going to predict FCSB to win this game 3-2. Moving on to the next game, we have Fenerbahce against Nice. Like I said in the first match day, Fenerbahce have been going through a lot this season. Obviously, they sacked Jose Mourinho, and in the first match day, they did have a few players missing that game, and they ended up losing 3-1 against Dinamo Zagreb. But similarly, Nice haven't been that good this season, and away from home, we've already seen them lose 4-1 against Brest. They lost 3-1 against Le Havre, who are both teams that realistically Nice should probably be beating. And now, once again, they're playing away, and I don't think they're going to be able to win. I'm going to predict Fenerbahce to win this game 1-0. The next game we got is Ludogorets against Real Betis. Real Betis have been a little bit inconsistent this season, especially in the La Liga, where we've already seen them draw multiple games, and they also lost that game against Athletic Club. With that being said, Ludogorets did get a good away win in the last match day against Malmo, but in this game, I'm going to predict Real Betis to win this game 3-1. The next game we got is Panathinaikos against Go Ahead Eagles. Like I already mentioned, Panathinaikos surprised me, and I completely underestimated them in the first match day, where I thought that Young Boys would get the win. But Panathinaikos slapped them up, winning 4-1. It was a very impressive game by them. And on the other hand, Go Ahead Eagles, which I thought would be able to win against FCSB, but they did not play good. They couldn't finish their chances, and even though they had so much possession, they still couldn't score. With that being said, I'm gonna back Panathinaikos. With that being said, I'm gonna have to back Panathinaikos in this game, as I think they're gonna beat Go Ahead Eagles 2-0. Moving on to the next game, we have AS Roma against Lille. Both of these teams got a good 2-1 victory in the last match day, but I think that Roma could have definitely scored more goals against Nice. They didn't perform that good in the attack, and obviously they gave away a stupid penalty which gave Nice the 1 goal. But Roma are a good team. I think they have some very decent players throughout their squad, and being managed by Gasperini, who I'm a big fan of, I definitely think they can make it very far in this Europa League. With the home advantage, I think Roma will definitely win this game 2-1. Moving on to the next game, we have Viktoria Plzen against Malmo. Honestly, Malmo have not been good this year. In recent matches, they have not been performing good. And in the Swedish league, they're also playing pretty poorly. I'm not sure if Viktoria Plzen will be able to win, but I'm going to predict them to get a 1-1 draw. Moving on to the next match, we have Basel against Stuttgart. Basel ended up losing in the first match day 2-1 against Fryberg, which I did predict. When on the other hand, Stuttgart ended up beating Celta Vigo 2-1, but realistically, they probably could have scored more goals. They had a lot of possession, they had loads and loads of shots. And coming into this game against Basel, I do think Stuttgart are the favorites. And for that reason, I think they will be able to beat Basel 3-2. Moving on to the next game, we have Celta Vigo against PAOK. In the La Liga so far, Celta Vigo have been very poor. And in 5 games in a row, they got 1-1 draws. I've never seen that before. 5 1-1 draws in a row is crazy. But with that being said, with the home advantage, I'm going to back Celta Vigo to win this game 1-0. The next game we got is FC Porto against Red Star Belgrade. Honestly, I expected more from Porto in the first match day because Salzburg haven't been the best this season, and Porto in the Portuguese league have been the best team by far. They have been winning every single game and they look very strong. But in that match against Salzburg, it took them a 93rd minute winner by Gomez to win the game. And it's not like it was a dominant performance by Porto. If anything, Salzburg might have been the better team. But with the home advantage in this game, I am going to back Porto. Now, Red Star Belgrade are definitely not a bad team, and they can definitely score multiple goals in that game. But with that being said, I think Porto will get the win, and I think they're going to win 4-2. Moving on to the next game, we have Feyenoord against Aston Villa. Honestly, Aston Villa have been shit this season. In the Premier League, they're basically in a relegation race. And in the first match day against Bolognia, I thought that they were very lucky to win that game. They have been really struggling to score this season. And last game with Ollie Watkins getting a penalty, it could have put him on the mark getting his first goal of the season. But he completely scuffed the penalty. It was probably the worst penalty I've seen in my whole life. He hit it right down the middle, no power at all, on the ground, and it was an easy save for Bologna's keeper. Feyenoord were not good in the first match day, and unless they play much better in this game, I think Aston Villa are going to win 2-1. The next game we got is Genk against Ferencvaros. In the first match day, I did predict that Genk would get a result against Rangers, as Rangers have not been good this season. And if you watch the game, Genk were clearly the dominant team. Now, the possession stats were pretty similar, but Genk could have scored probably 2 or 3 goals. They definitely should have scored more than 1 goal. They had almost 4 expected goals in that game, so it shows you that in terms of their attack, they definitely had a lot of great opportunities. With that being said, in this game against Ferencvaros, I do think it will be a lot closer, but with the home advantage, I'm going to predict Genk to win this game 2-1. The next match we got is Lyon against Salzburg. Honestly, I thought that Lyon would be better against FC Utrect because I think they are a very good team. They have some very good players, and even though they did lose a few star players this summer, they still have a great team. And at the time of recording this video, Salzburg have been very poor. Currently, they lost their last 3 matches in a row, and with Lyon having the home advantage, I have to back them to get this win. I think Lyon will comfortably win this game 3-0. Moving on to the next match, we have Maccabi Tel Aviv against Dinamo Zagreb. Honestly, Dinamo Zagreb surprised me in the first match day as they were able to get a 3-1 win against Fenerbahce. And even though Fenerbahce have been going through a lot of shit this season, it was still a very good result. But in this game coming up against Maccabi Tel Aviv, they have been pretty good so far this season. They have been winning majority of their games. And even though in the last match day, they didn't perform that good against PAOK, I think they're definitely going to turn it around in this game. I'm going to predict that this game will end in a 2-2 draw. Moving on to the next match, we have Nottingham Forest against FC Midtjylland. We did see Igor Jesus shine in the first match day where Ange Postecoglou decided to start Igor Jesus instead of Chris Wood. And it would turn out to be a very good decision as he scored 2 goals. But FC Midtjylland also scored 2 goals in the first match day against Sturm Graz. So if Nottingham Forest can defend FC Midtjylland in this game, I think Nottingham Forest can definitely score multiple goals and get the win. With that being said, I'm going to predict a 3-2 victory for Nottingham Forest. And finally, the last match is Sturm Graz against Rangers. Honestly, Rangers were shit last match day, and they've been shit all season. They have not been performing good. They've barely gotten a win this whole season, and Genk could have probably scored 3 or 4 goals against them in the first match day. And one of their star players, Diomande, ended up getting a red card in the first match, which makes things even worse for Rangers. With that being said, I'm going to predict that Sturm Graz will win this game 2-1. And that is the end of my prediction, where I predicted every single match in the second match day of the Europa League phase. If you guys agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But obviously, if you disagree with my predictions, remember to leave your predictions down below, and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And obviously, if you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying these predictions, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.